Cheers, my dears, and hello, my loves. Welcome to the first episode of the Attic Monologues. So first of all, why Attic Monologues? Basically, the name came up when I talked to myself, quite frankly, and because I live in an attic apartment. So I tend to talk about everything with myself, like mostly it's society or communication, interhuman relationships, whatever it is that comes up, I discuss with myself. And sometimes I take the findings of these monologues into conversations I have with others, like with friends. And some friends said, well, actually, that's an interesting perspective. Why do you not share it with more people? And hence the idea for the Attic Monologues was born, and I hope you find something in it that gives you something, maybe a new perspective. Just to make one thing clear, I'm well aware that many of the things that I say are nothing new, but sometimes you have to listen to the same lesson again and again and again, and sometimes it's the eighth person saying the same thing differently, and suddenly everything falls into place and it's applicable. At least that's my own experience. So yeah, I just hope that maybe you can gain something from it and take some inspiration with you. Many of the examples that I'm going to use to explain what I mean are concerned with language, text, and narration, because that's my profession and that's my passion and that's the red thread running through my life. So it's the easiest way for me to explain certain things. And there might be some allegories to food, because who doesn't love good food, huh? Come on. So basically, the main aim is to share some tips, tricks, tools that I encountered throughout my journey of life so far, in order to take back the agency, so to say, for your own life and take the responsibility for your actions. And I know that some people perceive the word responsibility as a big burden. It sounds so burdensome. But I do believe if we really take a closer look at what lies within our field of responsibility and what doesn't, and to take action within the sphere of responsibility, and to understand that there are certain things that are not our responsibility, that this can create great freedom. So to give you a hands-on example and to let you see what you got yourself into by being here and joining me, I came across a specific example, language concerned and responsibility concerned. So let's say you're a sensitive person. I mean, maybe you are. And somebody comes to you and says, we need to talk. I have a problem with you. How do you react? How do you feel? If you're quite sensitive and an empath and maybe also a little insecure, you might wonder, oh my God, what have I done wrong that this person has a problem with me, right? But now let language aid you. So in school, we learn subject, verb, object creates a sentence, right? Sometimes only subject and verb. Yeah, I am. I'm the subject, and what I do is I am. I am what, you know? And then comes the object. So if somebody comes to you and says, I have a problem with you, subject, verb, object. Preposition, another object. I have a problem with you. So if I say that to you, the first thing that you need to understand is, if I say I have a problem with you, you are the second object connected to the sentence. You are at the periphery of the sentence. In the first place, I have a problem. You don't have one right now. And see, does that not feel a bit more liberating than taking it personally straight away, thinking about, oh my God, what have I done? What can I do better? Or even feeling defensive straight away, being like, oh my God, what's your problem? Why do you bother me? You know, there are, of course, different ways how to react to that sentence when somebody comes and says, listen, I have a problem with you, right? But especially for sensitive people, I figured out it's really difficult to deal with that. But in the moment you understand that you are not the subject of the sentence, it's easier to detach and take a step back. And this distance actually creates a space in which you can explore the problem if you want to, right? So if I tell you, listen, I have a problem with you, then you can say or understand, okay, Gina has a problem right now. I don't have a problem. So if you're interested, you can say, okay, what's the problem? Please put it on the table between us. And then you can take a closer look and see whether first this is a problem to you at all, whether you understand why it is a problem for the other person. And you can ask yourself, do I want to make this problem my problem? Or do I want to deal with it? Am I willing to work on that? Or is it just not a problem for me, you know, and I don't see why that is a problem for the other person, right? So this millisecond of analyzing the sentence structure of what the other person said gives you a moment to relax your brain and your emotions, to detach, take a step back, distance, observe, and then decide to act if you want to. But it's not this, I have a problem with you, and the common reaction being taking it personally, being worried, or snapping back directly like, oh, go F off. I have a million problems with you, you know? So that, of course, depending on which relation you have to the person saying it or your personal character, your reaction might be different. But if there really is a problem, or someone perceives a problem in your interhuman relationship, whichever that might be, it might be a colleague, it might be a friend, it might be a family member, it might be your partner, whoever it is, it depends on the relation that you have. But if you're interested in and willing to work on that and to take a closer look at it, sometimes the best move is not to jump directly at it, but to take a step back. That's why I say language shapes a lot of our thinking, if not most of it. And when we pay closer attention to the language that somebody else uses, but also that we use, it can help us deal in our everyday life with everyday problems, right? Or just with problems that arise from being a human in this society. So let me know what you think. This was just a quick example. And if you want to, I can dive deeper into topics like these, but this is an example how language can help cope with certain things and to take back responsibility, because in that moment I understand your problem is not my problem until and unless I decide to make it my problem. And in this way, responsibility helps you gain back agency and gives you more freedom to explore yourself, your relation with other people, and to grow. See you next time.